Hello gentlemen, today I'm going to show you one of the best blitzes in the game right now, which is going to be out of the double mug formation. This is something that has been kind of popular since college football, and it's, just as popular, I would say, in Madden 25. Now there are two different double mug formations. We have the standard double mug, and then we have the 2-4 double mug. So the difference technically is the edge defenders. Edge defenders in 2-4 are going to be outside linebackers. They are going to be stand-up players. And then in standard double mug, it's going to be all defensive linemen. And the one that is technically better is the standard double mug. It does have a better pinch and you do get better disengages. So if you want to be in this formation exclusively, I would recommend picking one of these playbooks here that has the standard double mug. But if you don't have access to it in whatever playbook you're in and you only have the 2-4 double mug, this can still work as well. And here's all the playbooks that have 2-4 double mug. Okay, now let's talk about the blitz. So what we're going to do is talk about two different plays. We have mid blitz and we have nickel dog 3 buzz. You can do it out of both. I'll start with the zone version, and I recommend turning your auto alignment to base. So we're on base align now. And we'll leave everything else on default for now. So what you want to do is pinch your entire defense, so RB, and then left stick down for pinch. It's going to pinch your entire defense, and then you're going to do D-pad left, right stick down for slant inside, otherwise known as crash down. So now we're blitzing 7. And really what you want to do is send 6 or 4. That's typically what you're going to be doing with double mug. In this case, I'll show you the 6-man real quick. All you're going to do is take this guy. This is going to be your user. And then you're going to zone out the slot cornerback. Put him on whatever. In this case, I'll put him on a hook zone. So double tap Y, Y again, left stick down for vertical hook. And all you have to do is just kind of jump something. So they're obviously going to throw hot. And, this is sending 6. So 1's going to come free versus 5. Like, that's just basic math. Nothing special. But if they block the running back, oftentimes it will still come in if they don't set actual pass protection. That's what kind of makes it good. Just like that. And then we can also set this up as a 4-man disengage. So you do the same setup, pinch, crash down, and then you're going to zone out the slot cornerback. Maybe put him on a seam flat this time. Maybe drop the trip side edge defender into a vert hook. And then maybe hard flat the defensive end on the running back side. So you can run a shell like this, which is going to be very good. And you can still come free sending 4. Somebody's going to disengage typically. Right there, it wasn't like the best example, but okay, apologies if this clip is out of place, but I noticed something while editing that needs to be mentioned. I'm sure a couple of you noticed as well. And it's the fact that the corner route is running completely free for a touchdown. And the reason that this is happening is because we're using the seam flat. So I actually didn't know that putting him on a seam flat would activate match like this. Like, I know that cover 3 blitzes are technically match plays, but I thought since he was blitzing, it wouldn't matter, but it does. So you don't want to put him on a seam flat if you want your outside third to actually play an outside third. So let's do hard flat instead. You do something like this, and you're going to see your outside third is going to actually drop back and play that part of the field. This is going to happen a little bit more frequently out of the standard double mug than it will out of the 2-4. But they're both pretty good. Let's do it again. This is one of the best 4-mans we have in the game. And I imagine this will be patched at some point. But for now, it's definitely usable. Do it again. Doesn't come in there. But overall, again, it's a really good 4-man. And before I talk about the man coverage version, I do want to mention again that I dropped my first offense of the year on acemadden.com. It is the Miami offense, and you're seeing clips of it right now. This is probably the most fun and unique offense I've ever created, and I got to do it out of off-meta formations. So I actually dropped part 2 of this offense last night. It has a bunch of new stuff. It has an entirely new formation, tight Y off weak. Then we have a bunch of red zone stuff, as well as pass protection against double mug. So if you're a member, go check it out. Part 2 is live. And if you're not a member, consider becoming one. You get access to every single Madden scheme and college football scheme that we have on the site. And if you want a discount, use code Miami for 25% off. And we'll be dropping a defense this week as well for Madden 25. Now, if you're more of a man coverage player, you can use mid blitz 0 instead. I just recommend turning your auto alignment back onto default or man coverage, either one. And there are a couple things I want to talk about with this. So it's the same setup. Pinch your defense, RB, left stick down. You're going to take the guy that's manned up to the running back. He is going to be your user. And typically you want to hover him right here. Crash your D-line down, and that is your 6-man. Now, if you want to drop your guys into coverage, I would say you have two choices. You have hard flats or vert hooks. That's typically what you want to put either of them in. The base thing that people do is hard flats. Now, here's the thing. You now have press man across the board, cover 0, and that is just very risky, even sending this 4-man. You could just get beat over the top very easily. So to avoid that happening or prevent that from happening often, I would say you want to shade your coverage up. That's going to eliminate your press animations, but your guys will actually run with the receivers. In this case, I turned my hard flats into cloud flats. So if you want them to stay as hard flats, you want to shade your coverage up first and then put your hard flats on the field. Okay, let's go out here. And that's going to be the safer way to play cover 0 across the board. Now, if you're more of an intermediate or advanced player, you're going to want to really change up what you're doing with your back end. So you could do maybe like an outside third over here. Leave those 2 slot guys manned up. Maybe put a middle third on the field. And then we put some hard flats on the field. And, what I would do at this point is maybe go user the tight end. If he breaks out on a corner route, you have to take him. If he breaks in on a drag, you technically don't have to take him. But I'm typically just going to follow where the tight end goes. And if the running back runs an angle route, well, you're screwed. But, you're going to have to pick something. But overall, this cover 3 shell with these 2 hard flats is going to be pretty good if you can manage to make those adjustments. Do it again. There's the pressure. One thing I do want to mention is if you are sketched out by pressing your cornerbacks, you feel like you just get burned all the time whenever you press, you don't have to pinch your defense. You can just pinch your defensive line and your linebackers. So D-pad left and then left stick down for pinch, and then D-pad right and then left stick down for pinch. Now you crash down and we have our guys backed off. So you could run it like this. This is going to be a little safe. You're not going to get any hands on the receivers, and they'll typically just get free releases and run really good routes. You're not impeding any progress with press, but at the same time, you're not going to get beat over the top. So it's just kind of a give or take. And I would say that if you're going to play like coverage, doing something like this is going to be a little safer. You could do a 30-yard cloud flat backed off, and you don't need to have safety help over the top technically because, he might be running a streak, but he might not even have time to throw the streak over the cloud flat. I'll actually show you an example so you guys can really make sense of what I'm saying. But having this guy backed off is a pretty big deal. You can just do a lot more in coverage. So let's say that they're trying to run like a streak corner combo over there. Well, now you can do this. Maybe send all out pressure if you want. And he's just not going to really have time to get over that 30. Even if you send the 4-man. Now, it's not something I'm recommending you do all the time, but it's something that you can do. So I'll go ahead and put these guys in hard flats. Same concept. And let's just see if we get time. I'm curious. Didn't have time to throw it. So you can get away with doing that. I would say maybe be a little bit cautious with it and wait till your opponent gets on your side of the field, and then you can try stuff like that because you obviously don't want to do that when your opponent's on his own 10-yard line and then you give up a 90-yard touchdown. So that's going to be it for the double mug. I know a lot of you guys have already seen it before. This is not anything new, but I just wanted to do a breakdown for those of you who haven't seen it or don't really know the differences between standard double mug and 2-4 double mug. But don't worry, we're going to have some new blitzes in the defensive ebook that is going to drop this week, so be on the lookout for that on acemadden.com. See you guys at the next one.